But yes, I expect them to respect me when I'm dressed respectfully.
Hello, everybody. Here we are again. We're going to make this a multitude of podcasts, and I think we're going to do this at least 3 or 4 times a week. And we're going to pre-record these and send them out to the world, and hopefully, eventually, we'll do them live and we'll receive callers calling in. So, as of right now, we're pre-recording these, and here we go. And Miss Vilma.
Yes, sir.
I need to change chairs, and you got a squeaky chair. So every time you move,
and I move so much, I just can't sit still. So yeah, I need the one that's silent.
You need a seatbelt.
It won't work. My feet move too much.
And roller skates. All right, introduce yourself and tell everybody today's topic and how did we come up with this topic.
Okay, I am Vilma Bellini, and the topic is vultures. And the way we came up is, yesterday we were talking about how us women get vultures everywhere we go, and you initially assumed I was talking about social media, for example, like Facebook. And I do understand that if I do post something sexy with my boobs sticking out, something very provocative, I'm gonna get vultures. What I was saying, where I was going with that, is that even when I don't post provocative stuff, I can post very classy stuff that grandma approves. I still get vultures, and it goes the same way when I'm on the street. And so we were kind of like disagreeing on that, because you still disagree. I thought
100%.
Maybe you misunderstood me.
No, I didn't.
Okay.
No, I didn't.
Okay.
So let me repeat to make sure I understood exactly what you said. So basically what you're saying is that, if you do push, I'm trying not to wiggle too much.
Sorry.
So if you try not to, if you push out something very provocative, and then once on the first week of the month, and then you have nothing but elegant stuff all the rest of the week. And then, you dress once out in the street in our neighborhood provocative, but the rest of the week you dress in grandma-approved things. Are you expecting your crowd, because the vultures are already there? Vultures,
But yes, I expect them to respect me when I'm dressed respectfully.
Well, they will. They'll just, I don't know if you know what a vulture is, but vultures, vultures don't eat live meat. Once they smell death, they circle. That's a vulture. Even though you're not dead yet, they're still interested in you. So it's when you build a narrative, and when you build something in your head, you have to be able to get outside of your head and think what the rest of the world thinks. Just because you want them to think something different, just because you think they should, doesn't necessarily mean that they do.
That's true, but also, let's take for an instance, I can go to the mall that I've never been before, where nobody has seen me there before, and I can go wearing jeans and just jacket covered up, whatever, no heels, and I will still get vultures. I'll still get whistles and hi baby.
I've been with you for almost 7 years now. I've never seen anyone in the mall do this to you.
Because I'm never without you, exactly, that's why.
So the reason you don't get that is because you're in a presentable way, and you're not getting the vultures because you're going in as a person
with someone else, with another man.
There's 2 different things there. You can go with another man and you're just sitting there walking, arm's length apart or whatever, or you can go with a man with your holding hands. When you present yourself with a partner that everyone knows.
No, it's very different when you're alone and when you're with a partner that's a male.
100%.
And that's what I'm saying. When I'm alone, I still get vultures.
Not in the last 7 years.
Because I'm never alone.
That's why you don't have vultures.
But I'm saying, yesterday you were saying, doesn't matter, like it's how you present yourself. You can go and it's your fault if you get vultures. Did I misunderstand what you said?
No, you misunderstand what you thought.
No, I don't think so.
Just because something happened when you're 18 to 23 years old doesn't mean it still happens today. You know, it doesn't. And
I didn't say it.
Well, I mean, for 7 years you haven't been really anywhere alone. Why? Because you're presenting yourself as a person in a relationship. So that movie, that image that you present.
But how do single women avoid vultures? That's what I want to know.
Find a partner.
Yeah, but I mean, it's so hard. You know how hard it is to find somebody nowadays.
But when you're single and people know that you're single, here's fresh meat.
Sometimes you go through the mall on your work break, during lunch break. You go in and they don't know that you're single, but they come. The vultures come.
There's a way to present yourself to make men fear. You know, when you present yourself as a married woman, if you present yourself as unapproachable, you will not be approached. You have to learn how to present yourself in a way to push people back without even saying a word. When you show the boobs out there, that is a turn on for men.
Okay, so you're saying that Christian girl who never posts provocative stuff never gets dick pics sent to her?
You know what? I can't talk about a hypothetical situation.
Baby, you don't think that's the case?
I don't.
Be honest, truthfully.
Here's what I think. A girl.
Man, you just can't answer straight.
No, I'm going to answer you. I'm going.
Yes or no?
I'm going to paint a picture of the situation of a Christian woman. A Christian woman on her timeline talking about going to church, talking about, her next, Sunday school meeting, talking about, verses and, religious stuff. Probably not.
You don't think she gets them?
Not to the extent that others.
Ladies, let me know if you get them or not.
Absolutely. I think the one that is presenting herself in the true Christian values is probably not going to receive. Now,
she's getting dick pics from true Christians.
Here's what I think. Be serious.
Okay.
Here's what I think. On a scale from 1 to 10, maybe she's on a level of a 1 receiving them. Whereas the OnlyFans.
Yes, but I'm saying you still can't avoid it.
On planet Earth, you cannot. But we're talking about two things that are not equal. One is getting at 1%.
I guess I misunderstood what you were talking about.
No, one is getting at 1%, and the other, a scale from 1 to 10, 1, and the one that is OnlyFans is getting 10. Now, you can't just have a yes or no question. Is she getting? Is she not? She's getting 1,000, and she's getting 0.03.
But that's not what we were talking about yesterday.
We're talking about the vultures and how to attract men. If you are a woman and you can control your crowd. You can. Mm-hmm. If you understand and you're honest with yourself about how men really are. If you present yourself as a police officer walking down the street, don't get angry when someone, needs help and they come running to you, hey, police officer, help me. Firemen get the same thing. If you're in the middle of a public place shopping.
Yes, I agree, but that's what I was saying yesterday. I don't have to wear provocative clothes to get vultures. You
don't have vultures, really. The only time you have vultures on your website is when you post things that, attract a vulture.
Not necessarily. I get inappropriate pictures from men.
Why?
Because of your color.
Hell no.
Baby, send me these, like the Russian guy who sent me, who says, oh, is that what you like? And he sent me this black thing.
Well,
but that's what, yes. Some racist.
Time out. If you get one of those every 365 days, you're going to get that. Even the Christian girl gets that.
That's all that I was saying yesterday. That's all. And you were disagreeing with me. Or maybe there was misunderstanding.
No, it's just not the norm.
Yeah.
Is what I was saying. It's
Yeah.
not.
I
It
gotcha.
happens,
Okay.
but it's just not the norm. You can take the same Christian girl is going to get that person
Yeah.
once, but a person who is getting more of it has something that people are seeing that says it's
Darker
okay.
side.
It's okay to do so. That's what I'm talking about. Vultures. So there are a lot of women that I had a incident, not an incident, a discussion a couple of weeks ago about a woman. She's like, I don't like all of these men in my inbox. Showing me inappropriate pictures, asking me inappropriate things. And I went in there and I looked down. I mean, I just one swipe up and, lingerie, hand bras, nude, turning around, showing the ass with a thong bikini on. All that stuff she was doing. And in the column, I'm all about women's empowerment and I am in control of my body and I can do what you want to. Absolutely 1000% agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
But there is a...
Don't be mad when you get a reaction for the consequences.
For every reaction, there's an equal and opposite reaction to it. The reaction that she's not taking responsibility for what she's presenting.
Yeah.
Yes, she can do it, but you can't do something like that. And then, it's just a lack of understanding what human nature is about. Mm-hmm. Men are there to breed. Every male organism on planet Earth is here to breed. You can't talk your way out of it. You can't display something that he really wants to see and say, I am in charge of your emotions right now, and if you don't listen to me and respect what I'm saying, I'm going to call you X, Y, and Z. You can do that, but now you have this argument, you have this society, this big kerfuffle going on. You have these arguments and you just can't do that, without, you can do anything that you want to do, but you just are going to have to accept the consequences.
Right.
And a lot of women think like men. They think men value the same things that they do. And
Give me an example.
And then men also basically think women have the same value as them.
Sure.
So women think that, if they make a certain amount of money and they're independent, that they're going to be more desirable than a woman who does not have that job. So a woman will go ahead, she will get her career, do her things, finish all of her degrees at the age of 35, and now she's ready. But in men, they don't see value in money, how much money a woman makes. A man's decision for a spouse is that, okay, let me look at her bank account. That is not on a man's list of valuable
Only women
things.
value that.
But women live their life and they prepare their life for all these years for a false value that is not even false. And then they finish all this and then they put this badge on their shoulder that now I am valuable. I can go out there, and then they go out there in crickets. Mm-hmm. And then they get pissed off. Where are all the men? All the men are with the top 20% of the women. So that value thing and a man doesn't want a man wants a woman to need, he wants to be the provider. He wants to provide for his family, protect his family. He wants to raise kids. He wants the ability to block out the rest of the world. He doesn't want to have to worry about his spouse auditioning for other men. Because if you are a married man or you're looking for a spouse, you don't want your spouse out there on Facebook, auditioning for other men. You want to be able to, she's supposed to, basically, he's the number one man. There's no need for that. But you can do that if you want to, but you get the desired results, or you get the effect of that. You get the vultures. And that's what I mean, how you get the circling vultures out there.
Get it.
And when you get, those inappropriate images, it's because someone thinks they can do it. You're always going to have that nutcase, but, generally, there's a way to teach your audience how to treat you. You can train them all day long how to treat you a certain way. You just have to accept the mirror of your mind out there and the thing that you want to present to the rest of the world. You have to learn how to present that in a way to get your what? Desired outcome. You thought you was going to beat me up today, don't you? You always beat me up anyway, don't you?
No. And then I thought about the desired outcome.
You know what? Since we're here, we can go ahead and touch on another subject while we're here, right? So what do you want to talk about next?
We can talk about, do you treat your business as a side chick or as a full-blown partner?
What do you mean by that?
How do you treat your business? Do you treat your business as a side chick or as a full-blown partner?
Boy, that's going to be foreign to a lot of people. Kind of elaborate on that just a little bit.
Okay, so for example, you were on Clubhouse a couple of weeks ago and there was a photographer who said you were talking about the value of shooting the same person. You were talking about shooting me and how you branded me and how it's working to our benefit. And he says, I would never shoot her because her booty is too small. And then I'm thinking, okay, so are you a photographer or are you shooting for what pleases your eye? You know, he said to you, I would never shoot your wife because her butt is too small. So I that's one example. He's treating his business as a side chick.
Why would you make that analogy of a side chick?
Because if he shoots the big butt that appeals to his eye and to his senses, then he's not shooting for business.
Here is how I would translate that from my perspective. You know, a photography is an expression of an emotion. It's an expression of, something that you have on the inside. The person who wants to shoot bees and butterflies and flowers, they have a natural love for nature. So when they're out there, they're expressing something in their heart, how they feel. When someone is shooting, cancer patients or something or babies, they actually have something in their heart that makes them say, oh, I would love to tell that story. So to me, photography is a story that someone is telling. So that's number one. Then you have the people who just do that because they love it. Then you have the people who want to do this as a business. When you turn this into a business, how do you treat your business? Do you treat your business because this is the part of you? This is something that, that is near and dear. This is your heart, your business, and this is another person. Mm-hmm. So if this is another person, how do you treat that other person, which is actually you? So it's almost like having a split, a double screen of the physical you. The ghost leaves and goes into your business, that is also you. So if you have a business as a photographer and the only thing you're shooting is sexual things that you like, I cannot have a conversation with you about business. And when you try to have...
It's like instead of having a wife or treating a woman like a wife, you're treating her like a sugar baby. And that's what you do to your business. Instead of treating it full-blown 100%, you give it all your love because that's all you created, you treat it as a side chick, like that sugar baby.
First of all, the definition of love is no fear. You have to be honest and tell the truth. And when you have your persona out there for the world to see, and you're telling everybody that you're doing it as a business, it's a lie. Mm-hmm. So if you're willing to lie to yourself, how is that business going to treat you?
Yep.
Here's what happens, and I know this for a fact, there's no hyperbole here whatsoever. If you treat your business and all you're doing is going out there filling your portfolio with things that only appeal to your eyes, you're being very selfish. You're asking your persona, your business, to go out there and create a business over things that you like, not giving a damn about anybody else.
You're your only customer.
And you're your only customer, and you're not going to really go anywhere. And the problem that I have, you're not going to go anywhere because there's nothing that you're selling. all you're doing is selling your own soul, your own hormones, your own, mental sexuality. That's all you're selling. And there's no business contract or relationship that you could have between your human emotions and that. So people normally start translating that into, I'm doing it for a hobby. I want to give back to my community. Give what? Give what? Give what? And I'm going to leave it there, fill in the blanks there. But
you're broke, keep giving it back.
Well, I mean, it's a lie.
Exactly.
You're
not broke.
Giving,
you're not making anything in your business to give anything back.
I want to give back something deeper. It's the lie that he tells in the open, in front of the whole world. Hey, I got this business. And you see all these nude women in there. Oh, I'm teaching women's empowerment. These women are powerful. They, and nude.
I do it for their reaction. They come and cry and they say I changed their life, and that's why I do it. That's the biggest reward.
Most women cry in these things because they know that if they give these crocodile tears to a photographer, he's going to give them more images, which she takes and puts them on her social media, her OnlyFans, and she basically gets more attention because she cried. And to me, here's how, you have to have a solution to a problem, and the problem can't be yours as a photographer.
Yep.
And if you're building a business around your needs, that means you need to get a 9-to-5 job and support it. So if you have a 9-to-5 job supporting your business because that's what you like and you create, that's fine and dandy. But it's very difficult for you to, make that a business scenario, because if you want to expand that, you're going to have to get another 9-to-5 job. There's a ceiling to your job, because you're your only client. Now, every now and again, you'll get $50 here, $100 there, $400 there, but it's not a living. This equipment is crazy. And not only that, with artificial intelligence,
you pay $5,000-$10,000 a year for the camera equipment, and you make $500 a year.
But that's a business supposed to be.
But then they say, I'm a photographer. You don't believe me?
They are
Here's the check.
They are photographers.
No, but they're like, I'm making a living. Models the same way. I'm a model making a living. They made $30 an hour for 5 hours one time. $150 a day, and they call themselves I'm making a living.
We've had this, this conversation has been around for 30 years about, models and who gets paid. So I made a decision for my business. I shoot women 35 and above. Why? Because they don't have any interest in being a model. They just want to have fun. Why do I do this? Because those younger women have absolutely no value to me whatsoever. And I'll go on the highest mountaintop.
A lot of women will get very pissed off about that.
That's okay. Because they're not bringing me anything anyway. That's okay. They want me to help them. I had some very attractive women say, hey, Chuck, you're charging people to come to a body paint deal? If I would pay them the money, pay the models the money to go ahead and do this, why are you doing this to them?
And what's your response?
This is not for models. This is for people who see a value in what I do. Why should I have my business full of people that think I have no value? So much so, they think that they are worth more than me, so they should come in and me pay them for what?
But they're the only ones who see that value.
Hold on a second. I should pay them for what? Be honest. You're a model. What should I pay them for?
Good question.
What should I pay them for?
I don't understand what you're asking.
Why should I pay a model to come in?
You should not, unless...
No, I'm asking you to think about from their perspective. Why should I?
Oh, from their perspective,
Yeah,
they
why-
probably think because they call
No. Would you tell me what you really believe?
I don't believe that. I don't believe that they should get paid because
But tell me from their perspective why they think they should.
I have no idea because I've never had that perspective. Even 20 years ago when I was modeling, I didn't have that perspective. And I still don't have, even with all the trade for war going on right there, with people just exchanging services, I still don't get it. Even, I mean, I invested before I knew you to come to you. I came up with money, it cost me. I didn't ask for free stuff. And I still don't. We work so hard, we invest so much. And people say, you're dumb, you're driving for 3 or 4 days to a different state to go to some event, and you don't have a booth, and you're not making money, you don't have clients. Why the hell are you crazy? Why are you going there? Why are you paying for gas to drive 3-4 days, and then for hotels for 3-4 days, and then the food and everything? Why? Well, you guys are stupid.
Here's what I think. A woman has basically, a young woman has basically put her in a position of value. She has a certain value. And she ties a certain dollar amount or a certain respect or a certain, entitlement that she should get by this title that she has.
Yep.
Okay? So if she's a model, bam, now I have a title. Now, how should this title be treated? This is the first thing that she goes to. Not what she's done, not what she's accomplished in life, but she wants me to pay for something that she has named herself.
Yep.
She wants me to pay for the selfies that she's taken and all the free photo shoots that she's got from all these photographers. That's what, and she wants me to pay her as well. So my question is...
No, or sometimes she hasn't even been paid before ever, and she comes to you and she says you need to pay me.
That's okay. But tell me why, here's why I don't pay them. Because when I scroll down their portfolio, they haven't worked with any commercial companies. They are doing no paid gigs. Their portfolio is filled with vultures. They are in this women's empowerment thing, and they're shooting things that have a bunch of vultures and a bunch of people sending them inappropriate images in the background. Then she wants to come to me and say, you know what? I'm a model. I can represent your clothing to these 35 to 50-year-old women so they can come in and buy clothes. I've shot in those clothes before. That's great. You shot in those clothes before on a Wednesday. And the rest of the 5 years you've been doing it, you've been doing bikini shoots, you've been doing implied nude shoots and all that shoots. Great. You can model in all those different clothes, but I want to know what your audience is, because your audience is going to tell me your character. Your audience is going to tell me how much I can believe in you and how much you believe in yourself. If you cannot respect yourself, how are you going to respect me and what I'm doing? If I don't see you sharing stuff of other women, why are you going to share something with me of mine? I'm in this to spread the word to other people. I'm not in the business to be able to make you a portfolio and put you in designer stuff for you to go out there and present yourself. If you're a model, I'm not going to pay you to pick your cotton. Mm-hmm. You need to get out there and do the work. Now, if you're out there doing the work, and you're doing something, you have the finances to do it because you've made all the right business decisions to get people to come to you and say, I want to work with you. If people are saying, I want to work with you, then that means, oh, wait a second. Chuck's ears perked up. Why do these other people want to work with her? Then what's the young lady from Chicago that's on the Walmart billboards? What's her name?
Gabi Guzowskaite.
She's a model.
Yes.
I would pay her 1,000%.
Yeah.
To do something. She's going to casting calls. She's moved to LA.
Yeah.
She moved to LA. She's working it. She's
signed with an agency.
She's signed with an agency that's actually a real agency.
And the move and everything. And
she has her own teaching class, teaching people how to do what she does.
Yeah.
She's motivated. That I will pay for. Why? Because she's respected. She doesn't have a bunch of inappropriate. She might have a couple inappropriate stuff, but the majority of her things are business people reaching out to her, other women wanting her to represent their company.
Makeup, brand, company, shoes,
Walmart.
everything. Yeah, she's at
All
Walmart.
Now, I can take her serious.
Yep, absolutely.
If she comes to me and says, I'm a model, look, I model for this company. A model is a coat hanger for someone else's product. You have to be selfless. She does what Walmart asks for. She does what the makeup brands ask for. She does all these things. And then you have this other girl that calls herself a 10, previous episode. I deserve to have all that stuff too. But her portfolio is just filled with things that she likes. Mm-hmm. So to land this aircraft right now, I don't deal with models because that mindset in the brain that they're utilizing to create value is something that has absolutely zero value for me. It stings, it hurts, I understand that it hurts, but it is a reality and I'm not in it to be your friends. And if you get pissed off at me and want to block me and run away, that's okay. There's no value. I don't care how pretty you are. I don't care if you're a 10. If you're a 10 and your portfolio is filled with things that I don't need, I don't need it. Mm-hmm. Simple as that. This is my buddy. Mm-hmm. We have arguments. These debates go every day with us. Every day we have at least 5, 6 debates like this. And it really makes us strong and it really helps us understand. We both have no fear of expressing ourselves. If we would have met in a social setting, many years ago before we knew each other, we would have probably been on somebody's front page of how we knocked each other out and, black eyes and prison sentences. But we met in a very unique situation when she and I both were at the end of our, the wit's end of us, thinking that humanity was absolutely awesome and wasn't going to really deliver us anything special. And at that end of our emotional road, we found one another. And, sometimes we just have to let the spirits guide us in the direction and be open for it, because sometimes what you want and the things that you believe that you are that will make you happy, sometimes we as human beings are just not smart enough to choose that person. And I'm going to leave with this. 30% of men in their 20s to 35 years old are either virgins or have casual sex once a year. That's on a national average. And it's went up in the last decade 30%.
28, yeah.
28%. So you have all these men not having relationships, but women have stayed the same. They haven't. So if my GED and my math is right, you have less men having physical actions with women, but women are still carrying on the same amount, they still have the same body counts. So that is where cheating becomes a topic in our next episode. Thanks a lot. My name is Chuck, and you are
Vilma.
Peace.
Peace.
Animals.